Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Dune Awakening video. Today, Funcom, the developers of everybody's favorite game, held a developer livestream. And they dropped heaps of new juicy details for all you solo lab runners. One of the additions is 5 new Imperial testing stations with scalable difficulty and a speedrun timer.
Earlier, have not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 new dungeons and ecolabs in the game, which is super exciting.
Indeed.
So we can actually jump into some gameplay as well while we talk about these particular dungeons and how they tie into the system of further progression and specialization and all that. And
yeah, so you can get Landsrod missions to do these as well, but like whereas the Landsrod missions are focused on your own power, like increasing your skills with the specializations, this will tie closely into the power of your gear basically. So you're going to have to be running these a few times so that you get the things to craft for the augments and things like that. And even if you, let's say you get schematics that you don't care for, you can actually recycle those and turn them into.
I think we have to take a step back because we have
That's 2 entire new gameplay loops added to the game for us to grind.
To start with augments.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. So augments are things that you are abilities in a way that you slot into your weapons. So you can see here, these are level 1 augments. You see that on the circle, it has like just one pip on it. They go up to level 5 basically. And then for each weapon, for instance, you start by the lowest ones you have. You can only place 1 in, but then you can place up to 5 into them at the most basically. So you can really that's how you change the personality of your weapon if you want to, or you can just have damage numbers increase and things like that.
We can go a bit more into that later. I just wanted to take that a bit earlier since we're talking about it already. But now let's talk about the dungeons and how those are actually important also when it comes to these augments and why these dungeons.
Out of all of the changes coming to the game, personally, this one right here is my favorite.
So now what we see here, maybe, I'm not sure who of you wants to comment on what exactly we see here. Like before you go into a dungeon, you have
I can start.
Scaling, yes.
Basically, so we have now dungeon scaling so that you can challenge yourself. You can start at 1, which will be easy, go all the way, well, quite a long way basically on the challenge levels. And depending on the challenge level that you pick, it will of course increase the challenge the higher you go, but the benefits and what you get for doing the higher challenge level are of course beneficial. And I don't think it's in this build, but we've actually today, at least me for the first time, played dungeons with a new system that's quite exciting, which is not only do we scale the obvious things like hit points and damage output of enemies, but also depending on how many players you are going into the dungeon, we also scale the number of enemies. This means that as a solo player, you will get a solo experience. A group of 4 will get a 4-group experience. But you can also play with 2 and 3, and the numbers and everything else will be scaled towards that. And also the difficulty of the challenges will be dependent on where you set the bar basically.
And we also just saw when Camille put it all the way back, you actually get denied. Sometimes you can't actually set it to that difficulty level because you need to beat the previous one first to be able to go through.
Yeah, this is correct. So you start at, I think you can go up to 5 in the beginning in how we have it now, and then you have to start increasing the challenge. Now, interestingly, you might be able to pull off a level 5 challenge without having upgraded your gear or anything like that, but it will get challenging real quick because we expect after that to actually have gear that is augmented as you go through.
Yeah. You see here the modifiers as well for the different difficult scaling and ranking. Plus, of course, you see what you actually get, like drop rates for specific thing, where of course the augmentation come into play again that you already talked about a little bit. We see that on the side. But yeah, let's. I think we're just gonna jump in and see what those look like. We have a team of 4 here.
And before we jump into it, I would like to show off the personal light that we worked on. As you can see here, Camille on the left side there, he has a personal light with him. Obviously, it's more helpful in dark environments, but it actually follows where he looks quite effectively. It's a much needed improvement for what was the personal light, basically.
Yes, it's a complete rework of your personal light. It looks really cool too, like your little floaty body there.
And as we can see here, we're going into a poison dungeon. Someone said it would be a good idea to have a static compactor with you. I don't know why, but you know, there might be a good reason for it. And all these dungeons, they have five different themes. So each of the 5 new dungeons have a different theme. This one is poison, but we also have electricity, we have darkness, we have fire, and we have radiation, and they play quite differently. And obviously, the bosses are different, and the bosses tie into the theme of the dungeon.
The main vibe of they're very different. Yeah.
Yeah, and going to a poison dungeon, it would be a good idea to actually have skills that mitigate poison damage. Going into the radiation dungeon, good idea to bring a radiation suit. Electricity, I don't think we really have mitigation, but don't get hit by the blasts.
I think don't get hit is generally a good thing for like dungeons and electricity specifically. But yeah, but we see that our team is making its way here, making their way. So also we have those doors, of course, that we can talk about as well.
We have, at least internally, and I've called them the blood doors, basically, where and this is live already. We've done some tweaks to them, and there are still a couple more tweaks coming, actually. But they spawn enemies at intervals, basically, to provide challenge.
You also see here that there are specific traps as well that players have to be careful about, environmental hazards and things like that, of course. I actually like how organic this dungeon looks. I think it's very like, I'm gonna say Last of Us, but like very organic and poisony, and I really like what they did with the dungeon. Yeah, so you do have to clear those rooms, of course, the blood rooms, like we had in some of the earlier eco-labs as well, the T6 ones. Is anyone using dual blades?
Yeah, and Camille, I saw him use dual blades.
Yeah.
Dual blades work really well if you manage to stagger an enemy for a while and just keep going, because your speed of attack accelerates, and they all do damage through the shields, basically. So it's quite effective one-on-one at least.
I'm using blue darts on him. I don't remember which difficulty was it difficulty 5 that went in here with?
See it at the top.
Oh yeah, we can, exactly, difficulty 4. Yeah, exactly, of course, yeah.
That's actually reasonably hard, can be.
Well, they can handle it. The team can do this. They probably could have gone to difficulty 5. We have a good mix of different playstyles here too.
Yeah. There's some need charging going on.
Mm-hmm. Just healing up a little bit, make sure we're ready for...
And we've done some updates to the signaling of the waves, basically, because sometimes you might feel that, oh, did the encounter actually end, or is it bugged? And then we have actually some signaling with, we start with blinking lights to show, hey, this is a good time to reload, to get your buffs on, things like that. And then there's an audio signal that actually signals, well, now it's on. And it's simple mechanics, but they are quite useful.
Now we actually saw some loot there, also from a chest. Yeah, I'm assuming chat is actually able to hear those audio cues. We can't, of course.
Yeah.
No, of course, just we can't, because we can't hear the game sound right now. All right.
Yeah, so Mary Ban is doing well.
Yeah, you see, they're basically destroying those poisonous pots first, so they don't get, or they're trying to anyway, so it doesn't. They just explode in the worst kind of time when they're already engaged with like additional ads. Which is a good idea to just get rid of them early on.
I might mention one change that we're doing basically, because when you go into here, it's quite easy to get poisoned. When you go DBNO and then you revive, currently the effect stays with you, which is quite annoying. So we're actually clearing all the debuffs that you have on you when you revive from DBNO.
Okay, another quality of life change here, basically. You see also the pyrocket being used. The pyrocket doesn't have friendly fire, but you have to be careful not to damage yourself. And it's just really nice to, if someone goes into cover, just to get those NPCs out, or like area denial, as you mentioned as well earlier.
Right, here we have a dual blade. Oh. I'm not used to burrow that.
I was thinking the same. Someone is.
And you can of course see your friends' personal lives as well, which, talking about optimizations and everything, isn't always the case, but you at least see the lights from everyone, which is quite handy if you go to the darkness dungeon, for instance.
We have an asset afterwards where we show a little bit what the other dungeons look like as well. But of course we want to make our way here to the final chamber to also talk about something that's new and that we've put into the game as a foundation to build upon as well for future updates.
Yeah, so we've done a lot of UI work actually when it comes to the bosses. And we've been quite conservative with some UI elements in the past, but we're going all in on these unique bosses.
We should take it already a little bit ahead. So we do actually have now unique boss fights in the game, like a first version of it that we're going to build upon. But it's definitely something that I'm very excited about specifically. So once our team here is getting rid of those lost ads. Doing their best. They're doing really well, though.
They're doing well.
They're doing really well. Because those dungeons are not easy, especially if you crank up the difficulty as well. Like I said, though, I mean, there is kind of a limit where you won't get rewards anymore, right? But you can actually crank up. There's no limit to how difficult you want them to be. You can actually go to difficulty 100. So I feel like guilds and groups of players will challenge each other in who is the first one who can get and prove that they finish the dungeon on difficulty 100, for example, right? So I think that's, at least for me, because I like speedrunning, I like, first world raid encounters and things like that. So you can actually do that here too. It's like, who's the first one to beat difficulty 100? Also, that'd be fun to watch too, I think. That'd be super exciting to watch.
One of the things that was on the difficulty to select screen was the current highest level of difficulty they've completed this specific dungeon on, but also, like you said, for time running, the amount of time that it took you to do it on. For example,
but that's only for yourself and for you.
It is only for yourself, yes. It is
for
a
now.
personal score for now. We need to see where we expand with it to make it a more prestige system for everybody to see instead of having to share screenshots. I believe our players are just about wrapped up with this space. They're just looting, scooting, and
making
exploring.
Sure, gotta make sure you don't miss.
Behind.
Exactly,
nothing gets left behind.
Don't miss.
There are some cases where you want ammo, some cases where you want med packs, sometimes where you have to clean poison. Otherwise, things start to take a little bit too hard, and players, well, if you run out of health packs, you start to panic. Cooperative mining at its best. Everyone gets a door hinge.
Right,
nice
sure
in.
More loot boxes. So we do see a few new items here that are, of course, used and for what we're showing afterwards.
Oh, some NPCs, some more clearing. There we go.
The last hurrah before the big bang.
Oh yeah. the calm before the storm.
Yeah.
You just saw Camille take care of someone with a dual blaze, and you saw that he just kept going. It looked easy there, but he was also alone. It becomes, of course, more challenging when there are more enemies attacking you. But I love the dual blaze. I think
Yeah, be careful not to be overwhelmed by it. All right.
And I think we're approaching the destination. So if you can see here, this is obviously a good place to reload, have some spice beer, get ready to use your prescience, and take on the boss.
As a god of your team. I don't know how many times I, in other games as well, run into the boss fight and others were locked out by mistake.
There we go, there's a boss.
Alrighty. And so yeah, we do, that's what you mentioned earlier, that we have done user interface work as well, specifically for the boss fight.
So we indicate the faces of the on the bar there. You also see right now it's blinking. This means that the boss currently is not taking damage. There is more work to be done, so we're having another go at that to make it exceptional, to make it completely clear. I just wanted to mention it so people are aware. It's almost unfair, 4 against 1 here.
Yeah. Was it rooting for the boss? I mean, our team is also very experienced, so it's still like...
Yeah. No, he has a few tricks up his sleeve as well, so...
Up his tight suit. Sorry, are you okay?
Oh, yes.
All right.
That's what I need.
Just doing something.
Identify yourself.
Oh, that's a one.
Brought in some friends. So we are in the final stages or very in the last stages to finalize this, but there's still balancing work to be done, some kinks to iron out here and there. But overall, it's been very good progress on these bosses, I think.
He's also deploying like little additional poison things now, seeds now on the floor
Yeah.
that you need to keep, to make sure to keep those in check.
Incoming!
It's interesting when I played, at least I find myself constantly, in general, switching between melee and ranged. But I find that for some reason when I go against the bosses, I generally start playing as a melee fighter.
Interesting. Why is that, do you think?
I mean, yeah, I'm not sure actually. I haven't thought much about it. I just had that realization actually. No, because I saw that the most of the players here were actually using melee.
Yes. I mean, Camille here is using a little bit of a hybrid between ranged and melee, of course. But,
Alright, so we've gotten him down to half health now.
yeah, he spawned way more of these poison things.
Yeah.
now.
So these poison things are, it's good
Activating
in
them
the
again.
group to actually have someone be on static compactor duty, take care of those so that the rest of the team can focus on the boss himself.
Some good damage in there.
Feeling gas, are we?
Do you need some water?
No, I'm good.
Are you good?
Coffee, yes. I apologize.
No, that I have some water here if you want.
No, it's fine.
So yeah, so this is then challenge level 4, which is still geared to, or balanced towards not using augments, and you can crank it up to 100. So people will likely find their limit at some point.
So this is a more straightforward fight right now. While once you go into a tier where you do need augments, they're gonna get
Yeah.
spicier without not meaning to be that jokey here. No, not that jokey. Bad joke.
Well, if it's never a bad joke.
So Camille take out a few of these
Yeah, he's
poison pods
focusing
here.
on taking out the poison bulbs here to make sure that it doesn't come and bite them in the butt, like literally. Well, not literally, but add to the challenge of the overall poison that's coming in as well.
Yes! Charge me up.
They make it look very easy because they kind of know how it works as well. And oh, okay.
Yeah, they probably
Now he
practice a
gets.
bit.
Now he gets.
It's a good time to use pressure.
Yes, probably a good time.
Incoming!
Right, he's on the last pip there.
Read me and die! Tear you apart!
Reminds me also a bit of Alien with the eggs. The eggs in the, like, you know, in the mist thingy.
Yeah.
Not the cross IPs here.
Seek cover!
Alright, so getting close.
I keep wondering, like, what is the story behind the suit that he's wearing? That's what I want to know now. I need to check with the narrative team what exactly the reason for this is.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there is some kind of reason because there's always like. All right.
I think in the past we had some issues with not really knowing which was the boss, and suddenly you killed the boss. But I think
Oh
at
God.
at
Okay,
least
that's yeah.
at least that confusion should be cleared away through this.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely. All right.
And then let's get the loot.
For our
Here we go.
big chest.
New unique.
Some augments as well.
Yep.
The ancient way, which is not only available in the deep desert now, you can also get it in other boxes.
So these are schematics,
Yeah.
augment schematics that you're able to get here.
Exactly, and then
that
you have
you
to
then-
exactly. You have to learn them just like you do any schematic, and then they have charges, and then you can once you have the components and everything, you can of course build them and
Exactly.
slot them into your weapon.
We're actually going to look at that afterwards because Camille is going to go back to the base now and we'll look at how that works with the augmentations, crafting and everything. Well done, team. Thank you
Well
very
done,
much.
Thank you.
While he goes back to to his base and gets ready for showing us other things, we can actually look at some of the other ecolabs, what they look like, some of the other kind of what the vibe is with these particular
Maybe you
ecolabs.
want to take this one,
Sure,
Alex?
absolutely. I apologize. I had to control that coffee. That
No,
was
don't
wildly
worry about
effective.
it. I just didn't want you to die
Sorry,
here live on
people.
stream if
Yes.
possible.
So on screen, we're seeing a couple of the other dungeons. This is for the example, the boss from the Darkness lab. We can see the Darkness ecological testing station here
With the nice
with the absolute lovely personal globe. You'll see some of the environmental shots. This is the radiation testing station. Well, internally, we call it the radiation testing station. It has a wonderful set of lore, has a proper name, and a full-on narrative that players get to explore. The electricity testing station, again, internal name, has a full-on backstory, and players get to explore and understand and add to their experience of Arrakis. Let's see what the other one is. And this one, I believe, is this the fire station? Yes, it might be. I think it is. Is it? I think it is. It's hard to tell unless we see the boss. Yes, there she is. The hero. The people's hero.
on fire.
On fire.
This girl is on fire.
It's
okay,
amazing.
oh god.
It's amazing.
Apologies.
And this one we just completed a moment ago with the team working through the internally named Poison Dungeon.
Poison ecosystem.
So, I don't know about you guys, but I am extremely excited for these coming changes.
Ready to show us.
They will be coming to the PTC test server tomorrow, and I'll be testing them and updating you guys on everything that I find. I know this video was a bit of a different format, but we are going to be back to speedrunning in no time. The future looks bright. Thank you so much to everyone involved in making these changes happen. Can't wait to see more. And if you've made it all the way to the end of the video, thank you so much, and I will definitely see you on the next one.